The mechanical engineering program only accepted Alpha students. His curriculum was intense. The physical training was brutal. It was known as a notoriously difficult major. Ethan felt unwell recently. He slacked off during the long-distance run. He intentionally fell to the back of the group. A unique, milky scent drifted through the air. Julian gradually caught up to him. A sweatshirt was tied loosely around his waist. It outlined the slender shape of his hips. He was already losing steam on the 17th lap. He bit his lower lip tightly. His beautiful face was completely pale. Ethan jogged a few steps to overtake him. Julian's body swayed violently. He looked at Ethan like a mortal enemy. His eyes burned with a sudden fire. Ethan's lips curled into a faint smile. He wondered why an Omega would challenge an Alpha's endurance. The next moment, Julian clenched his fists. He surged forward in a desperate sprint. He ran as if his life depended on it. He crossed the finish line at the same time as Ethan. Julian fiercely declared he was just as good. Then, he coughed a few drops of blood from his lips. His body suddenly lost all strength. He fell backward like a feather. He descended helplessly into darkness. A strong force shoved Ethan from behind. His boyfriend, Leo, rushed forward. He caught Julian securely in his arms. He looked up at Ethan with bloodshot eyes. He said Ethan knew what Julian was. He asked why Ethan competed with him. He questioned why Ethan couldn't just let him win. Ethan and Leo had grown up together. Both had presented as alphas. They still fell in love and started dating. Leo had a natural aversion to delicate omegas. That changed when his roommate Julian appeared. Julian strove to be the best in everything. He was a dazzling presence among the freshmen. Later, Julian's suppressor patch failed. His secret was exposed. He gritted his teeth and pleaded with them. He explained that engineering was his lifelong dream. He was determined to get his degree. He didn't want to be tied down by marriage and family. He begged them to keep his secret. Omegas could certainly attend university. Many other majors were available to them. But the engineering program did not allow Omegas. It was a matter of physical capability. It was not simple discrimination. It was determined by biological differences. Unexpectedly, Leo believed Julian's plea. He even said Julian was different from other Omegas. From then on, Julian was always by Leo's side. Leo's clothes were often scented with Julian's milky pheromones. This irritated Ethan immensely. Julian would lean on Leo's shoulder like a good friend. He would joke about Ethan's sensitivity. He claimed a guy like him couldn't be in a relationship. He insisted he was independent and career-focused. Leo laughed at his jokes. Leo seemed to have changed completely. He trusted and accepted Julian without question. Julian's competitive nature often left him injured. He would subtly reveal his vulnerability to Leo. Leo would then instinctively feel pity for him. He admired and cared for Julian, just like he was doing now. Leo looked at Ethan as if he were a venomous schemer. After venting his anger, he lifted Julian. He carried him towards the campus infirmary. He didn't give Ethan a second glance. Their relationship suddenly seemed like a joke. The class president noticed Ethan's labored breathing. Mark asked if he was all right. He walked over and patted Ethan's shoulder. Ethan reacted as if shocked. He grabbed Mark's arm. He threw him over his shoulder. Mark exclaimed at his ferocity. He told Ethan his rut was starting. He urged him to go rest. An alpha's rut made them hostile toward other males. They had an urge to mark everything as their own. Every rut with Leo had been an ordeal for them. Leo rarely let Ethan bite him. Being marked by a same-sex alpha felt wrong. Sometimes Ethan would bite him anyway. Leo would get angry and they would fight. Their ruts usually ended when they were both exhausted. Leo had apparently taken Julian to the infirmary. Mark said Leo was busy there. He asked if Ethan could manage alone. Mark kindly walked him to his dorm. He knew Ethan and Leo were a couple. He even called Leo for him. Ethan waved Mark away. The tightness in his chest had not eased. His throat began to feel scratchy. He recognized the onset of his chronic asthma. He found a pill in his drawer and swallowed it. He then began throwing away Leo's gifts. He had no patience for drama. A breakup was better than wasting time. A wave of suffocation suddenly crashed over him. He fell heavily onto the tile floor. He grasped his throat, desperate for air. His body started to twitch uncontrollably. He wondered why this was happening. He had taken his medication. He realized the pill must have been switched. He couldn't even call out for help. As he was losing consciousness, he unlocked his phone. He blindly dialed for help. He prayed for anyone to save him. Leo's voice came over the phone. He told Ethan to stop being dramatic. He was at the infirmary and couldn't leave. He said he worried about Julian among all those alphas. He suggested Ethan bite someone else for his rut. He told him not to be so needy for an alpha. The sensation of dying was unpleasant. His mind was clear, yet he couldn't breathe no matter how hard he tried. He felt himself being lifted into an ambulance. Doctors and nurses surrounded him. An alpha still in his rut was unusual. The doctor asked if he had a partner. The ER filled with his uncontrolled pheromones. Even the alpha doctor's hands were shaking. He administered the highest dose of suppressants. A cold needle pierced Ethan's arm. A warm presence suddenly enveloped him. A voice told the doctor to wait. It said he would calm Ethan down. The asthma medication began to work. Fresh air slowly filled his lungs. A tall stranger lifted him. The man unbuttoned his own shirt collar. He carefully released some of his own pheromones. He was also an alpha, but Ethan didn't hesitate. He bit down on the man's neck. He instinctively wanted to mark him, to make the man his. His teeth broke the skin. The man's sharp kerosene scent flooded his mind, calmed his frantic heartbeat. Before losing consciousness, he heard the man's husky whisper. The man called him a fierce little thing. He fell asleep in the man's arms. He felt an inexplicable sense of security. When he awoke, the hospital room was quiet. His Omega father was talking to a doctor outside. A sound came from the sofa. Leo stood up and walked to his bed. His face was cold. Leo said he never thought Ethan would become like this. He asked if Ethan was acting out. He said this behavior only made him feel disgust. Ethan closed his eyes and took a few deep breaths. He then beckoned to Leo with his finger. Leo frowned and approached him. Leo mocked him for feeling bad. He said Ethan deserved it. As Leo got closer, Ethan acted. He ripped out his foretube and swung his fist. He punched Leo so hard his nose bled. Leo's face hit the ceramic floor. Ethan told him he would make his whole body ache. From that day on, he would hit Leo on sight. He and Leo had a huge fight. It was the start of an unprecedented Cold War. Lab tests confirmed his medication had been swapped. The dorm room had 4 beds. One was empty. The other 2 belonged to Leo and Julian. It was obvious who had done it, but there was no surveillance footage. Julian would never admit it. A baseless accusation would only make him look weak. Julian declared his own innocence. He told them not to involve him in their couple's quarrel. He glared at Ethan coldly. He straightened his back and left for class. Behind him, Leo's face showed pure horror. He asked Ethan about the medicine. His voice trembled at the thought of attempted murder. He rushed to grab Ethan's hand. Ethan punched him in the nose again. The loud crack startled Julian. Ethan smiled faintly and zipped up Julian's backpack. He asked why Julian looked so guilty. He had not accused him of anything yet. He just wanted to state a fact. If he had died, the culprit would face a murder charge. Since he survived, it was attempted murder. Both crimes led to prison time. He promised to investigate it thoroughly. The color drained from Julian's face. He tried to act calm and warned Ethan. He told Ethan not to target him just because he was an Omega. He claimed he only wanted to study. He said anyone could have entered their room. Julian was confident Leo would defend him. His eyes flickered with a look of desperate vulnerability. He swayed and leaned towards Leo, but he did not know something important. Leo had changed their door and window locks. He wanted to protect the only Omega. He never allowed others into their room. This time, Leo's gaze towards Julian had changed. Throughout the advanced engineering lecture, Leo ignored Julian. Of course, Ethan ignored Leo as well. Their regular professor was absent. A young male professor named Cole was substituting. He normally taught third-year students. Black jeans hugged his long legs. He wore a crisp, gray button-down shirt. A suppressor patch was visible at his collar. He had broad shoulders and a narrow waist. His features were sharp and cold. In any other department, he would be incredibly popular. But to the alphas, he was just a formidable peer. Leo sent Ethan messages all class. Ethan did not reply to a single one. After class, Leo cornered him near the front desk. He was still frightened by what had happened. He apologized to Ethan repeatedly. Then, with red-rimmed eyes, he asked for another chance. Ethan reminded him of his promise to hit him on sight. Just because Leo was sorry did not mean forgiveness. Ethan dropped his books and stretched his shoulders. As he prepared to punch, a large hand stopped him. A voice said fighting in the classroom was not a good idea. Professor Cole was standing on the platform looking at him. His tall frame completely overshadowed Ethan. It created a strange sense of pressure. Before Ethan could speak, Leo reacted angrily. He coldly questioned the professor's actions. He said he and Ethan had things to discuss. He asked what relationship Cole had with Ethan. He reminded Cole he was only a substitute teacher. Cole's jaw tensed in annoyance. He glanced down at Ethan. Then he tore off the suppressor patch on his neck. The pungent smell of kerosene filled the air. It was mixed with a faint hint of ebony wood. It was clean and slightly bitter. Both Ethan and Leo froze. That was Ethan's pheromone scent. Cole asked if his relationship with Ethan was close. He supposed it was. He mentioned being bitten by Ethan. He said he had been marked as property. He asked if Leo considered that close. So, the man at the hospital was him. An alpha cannot be marked by another alpha. It is a painful and humiliating experience. It takes days to clear the scent. Leo hated having Ethan's scent on him. He would always get furious about it. Even when they were lovers, his pride would never allow it. Now Leo's eyes burned with hatred. He grabbed Ethan's arm tightly. He demanded to know why Cole had his scent. He yelled that he was Ethan's boyfriend. Ethan corrected him, saying he was the ex-boyfriend. He asked if Leo wanted another punch. Ethan's own sour wine scent filled the air. Leo released his pheromones wildly. His crashing emotions mixed with rage. The classroom quickly emptied. The scent was overpowering even for Ethan. Professor Cole smirked and closed his textbook. The next moment, a stronger kerosene scent erupted. It fiercely consumed the wine scent. The pressure was suffocating. Cole was an S-class alpha. Leo was overwhelmed, his face pale. His body trembled uncontrollably. He couldn't speak a complete sentence. Ethan also broke into a cold sweat. His limbs felt weak. A strong arm wrapped around his waist, pulled him into a firm embrace. Cole noted Leo only smelled of milk. He questioned Leo's connection to Ethan. He stated he was the one who was marked. He declared himself as Ethan's property now. He told Leo to move. The pheromonal pressure kept Ethan from moving. A few broken whimpers escaped his throat. This earned a low chuckle from Cole. Ethan was tall, but Cole easily lifted him. He held him with one arm. He picked up his book with the other. He calmly walked out of the classroom. As the kerosene scent dissipated, Leo collapsed. His entire back was soaked with sweat. His body was tense. He couldn't lift his head from the humiliation. His chest heaved with every breath. He seemed ready to unleash his endless fury. After some time, a soft, cold hand tugged his sleeve. A weak voice asked for help. Julian had been hiding in the classroom. The waves of alpha pheromones had triggered his heat. A glint appeared in Leo's dark eyes. His gaze fell on the flushed face of Julian. Ethan was carried to Cole's private office. He was placed on the large desk. Once his head cleared, he jumped off. He immediately apologized to the professor. He even tore a check from his checkbook. He told Cole to fill in any number. Cole unfastened his cuffs. He glanced at Ethan nonchalantly. He asked if Ethan thought he charged by the incident. Ethan's scalp tingled. He didn't know how to explain. Cole suddenly leaned in. He trapped Ethan against the wall with his arms. He said that since Ethan had bitten him, he had to take responsibility. He asked if health class taught him what to do next. He claimed to be a decent man for 30 years. Ethan was his first. His scent had been on Cole for days. Many people had noticed it. He asked if Ethan planned to just pay him off. Cole leaned very close. His hot breath washed over Ethan's face. It made his heart skip a beat. Ethan explained that he had just broken up. He wasn't ready for something new so quickly. He insisted it was an accident. He asked what Cole wanted him to do. Cole pursed his lips. A faint smile touched his dark eyes. He said what was done. He claimed his reputation was now ruined. He wondered what people would think. Professor Cole finally had a romance, and it ended in less than a week. It would be embarrassing. He said a year-long relationship would be more normal. Then they could have a peaceful breakup. Ethan ran a hand through his hair in frustration. He didn't dare provoke a professor or an S-class alpha. He asked what Cole was suggesting. Cole shrugged helplessly. He unbuttoned the top 2 buttons of his shirt. He revealed the fading bite mark. He said they should be in their honeymoon phase. He noted the ebony scent on him was fading. He was just asking for a few more bites. It seemed acceptable. They were both men, both alphas. Neither was taking advantage of the other. Ethan calmed his racing heart. He reached out and grabbed Cole's arm. He pressed himself against Cole's neck. He said fine as long as Cole accepted it. His teeth pierced the skin. At that moment, both their phones buzzed. Messages flooded their school's group chats. Huge news was breaking. Julian from engineering was an Omega. He was in heat and crawling around campus. Julian had sought Leo's protection during his heat. He had curled up at Leo's feet. Tears of desperation rolled down his cheeks. But this time, Leo just called for assistance. He left Julian to his fate. He told Julian he hated his disgusting, troublesome kind. The sweet, milky scent spread through the building. Countless alphas were affected. They grew restless. To survive, Julian fled towards an open area. He was completely soaked, crawling on all fours. He had lost all his dignity. Leo saw Ethan watching the scene. He ran to his side to explain. He asked if Ethan was testing him. He said his mind was clear now. He was not affected by Julian. He claimed to be disgusted by Julian's type. Ethan said he was giving him a headache. He was only there to see if Julian was coherent. The police had found a partial fingerprint on the swapped pills. Julian would have to be investigated. Leo's face turned pale. Julian's eyes widened in terror. Despair began to consume him. Overnight, Julian's story was known throughout the school. Swapping the asthma medication was a federal crime. But an Omega protection law existed. It stated Omegas must have at least one child before serving time. Procreation was an Omega's most important duty. This meant Julian would only receive a school reprimand. As for impersonating an Alpha, he used it to his advantage. He incited an Omega rights movement on campus. He accused the Department of Gender Discrimination. He used public opinion to pressure the school. He was allowed to remain in the engineering program. On the first day of his third year, he addressed the students. He downplayed his own mistakes. He spoke of grand ambitions. He admitted his fault, but he called it a common Omega mistake. He confessed his jealousy of naturally superior alphas. He questioned why they were born as elites. He said he stood there to prove a point. 8 years ago, an Omega became a legend in the Mecha Pilot program. Now he would be a pioneer in mechanical engineering. Julian wore light makeup for the occasion. His delicate face had a noble, untouchable aura. Many in the audience admired him, but he probably didn't know the truth. The previous Omega was a once-in-a-century genius. Julian likely did not possess such talent. More importantly, a mechanic was not a pilot. He would learn that in his first advanced class. The mechanic is the life of the mecha. On a battlefield with no retreat, the final material used to repair a mecha is the alpha mechanic's own body. An Omega's naturally fragile bones were unsuitable. Before the third year officially began, there was a fitness test. It was to evaluate the results of their training. They were in teams of 4 without supplies. They had to cross a tropical jungle in 48 hours. They also had to find a set of mecha blueprints. A random draw placed Ethan with Leo, Julian, and Mark. They changed into black tactical uniforms. Mark complimented Ethan's long legs. He said a handsome guy looks good in anything. Leo quickly agreed with a smile. He said Ethan had always been handsome. He confessed he had been captivated by him. Ethan gave him a cold look. He told Leo that his attempts to win him back were pathetic. He told him to shut up. Leo's smile froze on his face. He looked lost. Julian had already started moving. The standard issue uniform was loose on him, but he cinched his waist tightly. His slender figure drew the gazes of other alphas. He seemed unbothered by the attention. He didn't even wear a suppressor patch. The milky scent around him was enticing. He turned back and reminded them to hurry. He said his focus was on passing the test and his studies. Leo immediately sneered. He called Julian a pretentious fake. Despite his harsh words, his eyes followed Julian. Every time Julian made a mistake, Leo would curse at him. He directed all his malice towards him. However, when other alphas approached Julian, Leo would chase them away. It was interesting to watch. Ethan had known Leo for over a decade. His feelings were painfully obvious. Did he really hate Julian? It seemed he was being drawn in again. His heart wavered back and forth. It was truly disgusting. After 20 hours, they reached a swamp. They could use vines to swing across. A vine required the weight of 2 people. Leo and Mark went first to check for safety. Then Ethan would go with Julian. After about 15 minutes, Leo gave the all-clear signal. Julian gripped a vine and asked if they should go. A cold smile touched Ethan's lips. He grabbed the back of Julian's collar. He reminded him they had a score to settle. This was their first time alone since the police investigation. Ethan slowly took out a bottle of fake pills. It was the same kind Julian had used. The color drained from Julian's face. He had nowhere to run. Ethan quickly tied him with a vine. He forced Julian's mouth open. He poured the entire bottle of fake pills inside. He wanted Julian to have a taste. Julian had twisted concepts and exploited legal loopholes. So Ethan would punish him his own way. Julian broke down in tears. He gagged and struggled. Ethan grabbed the vine and swung them across. The wind drowned out all of Julian's cries. After landing, Julian vomited violently. He curled up into a ball. He couldn't even speak a full sentence. Ethan calmly reported that Julian was just scared. He said they were short on time. Leo immediately urged Mark to follow Ethan. He grumbled about the disgusting Omega faking pity. Julian cried for a long time. Half an hour later, he wiped his tears and caught up. His gaze was dark and unsettling. They reached the marked location, but they could not find the mecha blueprints. The rain was getting heavier. Night was falling. They needed to find shelter soon. They were far behind schedule. Julian suddenly grabbed Ethan's arm. He suggested they split up to search. Ethan didn't know what new trick he was planning, but they had very little time left. They did need to work separately. Ethan shook him off and went into the jungle alone. A few minutes later, Julian screamed for help. He claimed to have fallen into a trap. He cried that his leg was broken. He begged Ethan to save him. Ethan had no intention of helping him. He even quickened his pace to get away. But then Julian's voice cried out again. He accused Ethan of hearing him. He questioned if Ethan would bring personal grudges to the battlefield. He shamed him for abandoning a teammate. He said he looked down on him. Ethan stopped in his tracks. Suddenly, a strong milky scent exploded in the air. Julian had cut his arm to release his pheromones. Under the impact of the Omega scent, Ethan's mind went blank for a few seconds. Julian used the opportunity to attack him. He grabbed Ethan's neck. They both fell into a deep, dark pit. Julian confessed his hatred for Ethan. He resented Ethan's beauty as an alpha. He envied his wealth and Leo's devotion. He asked why Ethan had all the advantages. He wished Ethan would just die. Ethan cushioned Julian's fall at the bottom of the pit. He was unconscious for half an hour. When he woke up, Leo and Mark were there. Julian was kneeling behind them, crying. He claimed he saw Ethan fall. He said he couldn't save him alone, so he cut his arm to signal for help. He was glad they arrived in time. Leo told him to shut up. He said Julian's stench was everywhere. He threatened Julian if anything happened to Ethan. He was scolding Julian harshly, but he tore off half his own sleeve to bandage Julian's arm. He didn't even look at Ethan once. Mark carefully asked Ethan if he could move. He wanted to know what happened. Julian watched Ethan warily, ready to counterattack. His scheming expression was laughable. If Ethan argued, he would stoop to his level. Ethan numbly climbed to his feet. He had seen the blueprints while falling. He told them to get it and go. Their time was running out. Julian wiped a tear from his cheek. A triumphant smile crossed his lips. 2 chocolate bars were with the blueprints. It was their only food. Leo immediately snatched them and offered them to Ethan. He continued to lecture Julian. He said Julian didn't deserve any. He called him a burden and a nuisance. The pain in Ethan's body was constant. He ignored Leo and walked toward the finish line. After midnight, the rain became a downpour. Their visibility was limited to the weak light of their lamps. Mark suggested they rest. He quickly set up a temporary shelter. The 4 of them huddled inside. Leo started complaining again. He hated being so close to an Omega. He told Julian to move away. Perhaps the wound on his back was infected. Ethan soon passed out again. For hours later, Mark woke him up. He said Ethan had a fever. He asked if he could continue. He reminded him he hadn't eaten all day. He offered to get some chocolate from Leo. Ethan slowly sat up. He was about to refuse. Leo and Julian emerged from the bushes. Leo still looked annoyed, but Julian's face was flushed. He was looking down shyly. There were chocolate crumbs on his pink lips. It was clear what happened when they were alone. Julian pretended to care for Ethan. He offered to help him walk. His eyes held a victor's pride. He was flaunting Leo's favoritism. He was showing off how Leo gave him all the chocolate. Ethan told Mark to hurry up. He didn't bother with Julian. After another 4 or 5 hours of walking, Ethan stumbled. Julian rushed forward again to offer help. Leo finally stepped in. He told Ethan not to be so difficult. He said Julian had saved his life. He asked Ethan to stop the attitude for now. Ethan turned and punched Leo hard in the face. He said Leo believed everything Julian said. He asked if Leo would believe he was Julian's father. At that moment, a playful voice came from a distance. It noted they still had energy for fighting. A pair of long legs came into view. A black tank top covered a muscular torso. A tactical jacket was draped over his shoulders. It was Cole. He was one of the instructors for the assessment. He told them the finish line was just a few hundred meters away, but he wasn't going to let them pass easily. Since they had energy to fight, they would do push-ups. He ordered 200 push-ups from everyone. Julian's face went pale with fright, but the others got into position. He had no choice but to follow. His hands barely supported him. Cole walked past him coldly. He kicked Julian's sagging waist. He demanded proper form. He asked if this was the best the First Omega could do. Julian yelped and fell into the mud. He painfully explained that his arm was already injured. Cole asked him what happened to the 2 chocolate bars. He wondered if they gave him no strength. He asked if Julian knew how he got injured. Julian flinched guiltily. He quickly looked away. Leo stepped forward to defend him. He claimed Julian cut his arm to signal for help. He said it was to save Ethan from the pit. Cole said the truth would be revealed during the review. But right now, he hadn't told Leo to stop. He added 200 more push-ups for him. He added 200 for Julian as well. Leo's fists clenched. He started to release his pheromones in anger. Cole kicked his shoulder without hesitation. He sent Leo flying several meters. He challenged him to do 400 more if he was unhappy. Just then, Ethan's hoarse voice spoke up. He said he had finished his 200. He asked if he could proceed. Cole's dark eyes held a complex emotion. He looked Ethan up and down. Ethan licked his dry lips. He took the team badge from Mark's pocket. He ran towards the finish line with all his remaining strength. The push-ups had reopened the wound on his back. Blood and sweat soaked through his shirt. The scent of ebony would slowly leaked out. Leo's expression changed as he finally realized. The moment Ethan crossed the finish line and collapsed, Leo screamed. He ran towards him, apologizing for not knowing. But he was too late. Ethan fell into a warm, strong embrace. A large jacket smelling of alpha pheromones covered him. It wrapped him up tightly. Cole congratulated him on securing first place for his team. His deep voice was right next to Ethan's ear. He used the hug to rub his face against Ethan's neck. He expressed his displeasure. He said Ethan was covered in the Omega's stench. He warned that if he smelled it again, he would punish Ethan. The dominant S-class pheromones completely enveloped him. It made him feel incredibly safe. He leaned into Cole's embrace. He waited for the dizziness from low blood sugar to pass. Leo stood a few feet away watching them. His eyes were red. He had understood something from Cole's words. He wanted to explain, but a heavy weight pressed on his chest. The pain was suffocating. 5 minutes later, Ethan regained some strength. He gently pushed Cole away. Julian had reached the finish line. He had a beautiful smile on his face. He asked if they had won first place. He knew they would, but he was cut off mid-sentence. Ethan grabbed him by the collar and lifted him. Julian choked, his face turning red as he struggled. Ethan slapped him to make him quiet. He dragged him to the edge of a slope. Ignoring his pleas, he kicked him down hard. He said his tolerance did not mean fear. He had to finish the assessment. Julian was not worth his time. Julian accused him of abandoning a teammate, but he had tried to kill Ethan. On the battlefield, he would never abandon a comrade. But he was ashamed to have Julian as one. He said anyone teamed with Julian was incredibly unlucky. The kick broke 3 of Julian's ribs. It also dislodged the implant in his nose. He needed a month to recover. Ethan wasn't much better. His infected wound required a week of 4 drips. Cole did not hold anyone accountable. He let them settle their own scores. From then on, Julian avoided Ethan at all costs. Their team won first place in the assessment. They earned a chance to visit the front lines before graduation. But first, they had 2 more years of study. The news of Ethan and Cole's relationship spread. To protect Cole's reputation, Ethan diligently bit him once a week. It was clear to everyone that Cole was enjoying it. He would proudly wear Ethan's scent as a claim. He would calmly call on Ethan in front of the whole class. He would refer to him as his little boyfriend. No matter how busy he was always there for Ethan's rut. He would beg his little ancestor to be gentle. He often had classes in the afternoon. Ethan had never been so pampered during a rut, so he became more audacious. He would occupy Cole's office. He would wear his suit jackets. He would sit on his lap and bite him freely. Marking an S-Class Alpha felt amazing. Just after midnight, the office was thick with pheromones. Leo appeared at the door. He held a melted ice cream cake and a gift for Ethan's 22nd birthday. His voice was choked with emotion. He softly called Ethan's name. He reminded Ethan of their promise to spend every birthday together. He admitted his past foolishness. He asked if Ethan could forgive him. Ethan didn't even look at him. He buried his face in Cole's chest. The man held him tighter. His long finger tapped the desk a few times. He told Leo that it was after hours. He requested that he leave his office. He said his lover was in his rut. He had no time for Leo. He warned Leo not to provoke Ethan. He had made him cry last night and still hadn't cheered him up. The cake slipped from Leo's hands and splattered on the floor. Tears streamed down his face. The last thread of his sanity seemed to snap. Long after he left, Ethan broke the silence. He asked if their relationship was fake. He suggested they clear things up. Cole rested his chin on Ethan's head. He chuckled deeply. He said he would make it clear. There were no coincidences. Everything was his deliberate plan. He loved the flowers of spring and the trees of summer. He loved the twilight of autumn and the winter sun. And he loved Ethan every single day. He told Ethan not to rush a response. He would wait patiently for his answer. Before their final graduation, their team went to the front lines. The Federation had been in constant conflict. Touching a real Mecca was every engineering student's dream. When they arrived, an offensive was underway. The commander had only a few minutes for them. Julian, the only Omega, tried to list his achievements. The commander ignored him and patted Ethan's shoulder. He was glad to see him again. Many eyes turned to Ethan. His alpha father had been a top-tier mechanic. He was buried on this very battlefield. Now, Ethan was following the same path. Amid the noise, only Julian sneered. He muttered about some incompetent mechanic. He wondered why he didn't run from danger. Ethan heard him, but he didn't bother to argue. Reality would be Julian's best teacher. The commander gave them their assignments and left. But he turned back with a question for Ethan. He heard Ethan was close with Professor Cole. He mentioned Cole left his commander post 3 years ago. He asked if he was teaching now. Ethan was stunned. He didn't know much about Cole's past. He had been a mecha commander? Before he could ask more, sirens blared. The base was under attack. Their study trip was cut short. They had to fill in for the mechanic shortage. They were being sent directly to the front. The situation had to be critical. The commander gave them relatively simple tasks, but they still had to cross a line of fire. It was dangerous. Mark asked if they were still in a team of 4. He promised to protect everyone. The commander gravely announced they would be on solo missions. A dead silence fell over the room. Ethan agreed without hesitation. Leo hesitated for a moment. Then he took off a lucky charm he had worn for 20 years. He tried to press it into Ethan's hand. Ethan tossed it onto a table. Julian then spoke up defiantly. He said he was an Omega. He asked if an Alpha mechanic should go first. All eyes focused on him, but he felt superior. He declared he was a top Omega student. He shouldn't be sent to die on the front lines. As he began a long speech, the commander slapped him. He said cowards were not welcome at his base. Julian had chosen this path. There was no special treatment for any gender. Julian was terrified. He trembled as he put on his combat suit. He gently pulled on Leo's sleeve. Tears fell from his eyes. He reminded Leo he was special. He said he couldn't handle this. He begged for help. This time, Leo didn't even look at him. For the first 4 hours, they maintained contact with the base. Then, Julian's scream came through the comms. A massive explosion deafened them. All contact was lost. The sound seemed to come from Mark's direction. A voice called out to Ethan. The strong smell of blood mixed with wine filled the air. Leo, covered in blood, ran towards him. He could no longer control his pheromones. It showed how badly he was injured. He said there was an internal problem. Their casualties were high. Ethan wanted to continue his mission, but Leo grabbed his hand tightly. He told him to give up. He said the base was gone. They were probably trapped there. He confessed that dying with Ethan would leave him with no regrets. He didn't care if Cole was better than him. In the end, he would be the one buried with Ethan. Hatred filled Ethan's eyes. He turned and punched Leo several times. He was utterly disappointed. He said Leo didn't understand responsibility or mission. His current attitude matched Julian's cowardice. He told Leo to die alone. He was going home. Leo coughed up blood. He smiled with a crazy obsession. He refused to let go of Ethan's hand. Just then, their dead comms crackled to life. A deep, husky voice came through. It was Cole, asking for a status report. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. He quickly reported his situation to Cole. A few seconds later, Cole gave him a set of coordinates. He planned a new route for Ethan's mission. He also tried to contact the other teammates. Before the signal cut out again, he said Ethan's name. He revealed he was a commander in the battle where Ethan's father died. He was the closest to him. He witnessed the explosion. He had lived with nightmares and guilt for years. He even left his command post to teach. Then he met Ethan. He called Ethan a captivating person. Strong, persistent, and brilliant. He couldn't help but be drawn to him. He said Ethan made him understand. Fighting for one's beliefs until the last moment. That was the best end for a mechanic. A few heavy breaths came over the comms. Leo had woken up. He lay on the ground, watching Ethan. A single tear traced a path down his cheek. He had heard everything. He also heard Cole's last soft words to Ethan. Cole said his open love was a form of salvation. He asked Ethan to complete his mission and come back. He said he was waiting for an answer. Their study trip ended in chaos. Only Ethan completed his mission. He returned safely with a heavily wounded Leo. Julian had tried to escape with a group of protected Omegas. But his fame worked against him. He was recognized and scorned. He was kicked out of the group. Luckily, Mark was nearby and saved his life. Mark said he promised to protect everyone. Julian begged Mark to help him with his mission. Unfortunately, he had the location and coordinates wrong. He watched as Mark was engulfed in an explosion. Julian ran away again. He was soon captured by the enemy. He tried to trade secrets for his life. But as an Omega, his pheromones betrayed him. He went into heat. This time, there was no one to protect him. After graduation, Ethan officially took over his father's designation. He became a frontline mechanic. Leo's injuries forced him to leave the military. He went home to run his family's business. He rejected all the blind dates his family arranged. He said he was waiting for someone to come home. Ethan mailed him an inflatable doll. He told him to get his head checked. New Year's was approaching. The base was filled with a festive mood. But Commander Cole was clearly agitated. He searched frantically for someone. A tall, slender figure approached from a distance. He wore combat boots and had a lean frame. His clear voice was full of mockery. He told Cole to control his pheromones. He asked if his little one wasn't taking care of him. Cole looked up and greeted the man. Chewie. He continued his search. He declared the lounge was empty too. Chewie raised an eyebrow and sneered at him. Just then, a large man embraced him from behind. He buried his face in Chewie's neck. He whined that he hadn't been fed either. Cole finally found Ethan in the repair bay. Ethan was tightening the last screw. As he wiped oil from his face, he was lifted off his feet. Hot breath tickled his back. Cole's tongue licked his cheek. Ethan's face flushed red. Cole shamelessly wished him a happy new year. He said he was there for his gift. Before Ethan could finish his sentence, he was silenced. Their lips met in a fiery kiss. Their two hearts beat as one. Sometime later, their phones buzzed with a news alert. Julian had been returned in a prisoner exchange. This meant he would finally face trial. He would pay for all his crimes: murder, treason, desertion. In his 4 years of captivity, he had borne 4 children. No Omega protection law could shield him now. It was the fate he deserved. As Ethan read the last line, alarms blared across the base. Cole's already dark expression grew worse. His pheromones were suffocating. Ethan smiled and poked his nose. He turned and ran to assemble. Duty called at sunrise. Love waited at sunset. Commander Cole's New Year's gift would have to wait. He would just have to endure it.